Thank you for joining us for this week's Roundup Bulletin. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and it's going to be an hours-long bulletin, so do sit tight as we give you those top stories that made news within the week. Now, to start off with the first story, early this week, President Yoweri Museveni highlighted the importance of the private sector in Uganda's socio-economic growth aspirations. He noted that the country is a prime center of doing business and urged investors to inject more money into the economy. Now, as Dennis Sigua reports, Museveni was opening the Four Points Sheraton 5-star hotel in Kololo, Kampala.
The hotel, located in Lower Kololo, has cost the investors $40 million to set up and directly employs 250 people. While formally opening its doors to the clients, President Yoweri Museveni noted the importance of the facility in Uganda's steadily growing hotel and hospitality sector.
So I was checking how many we have now. We have got 28,000. So you have now added another how many? 142 rooms is what? The 142 bedrooms, you would call them. So I really thank you for coming.
He also highlighted the benefits of a strong and resilient private sector in the social and economic growth aspirations of Uganda.
The private sector easily grows the economy for you. And if the economy is strong, you can afford to be independent because the economy is strong. And who is strengthening this? The private sector. They are the ones who are growing the crops. Like some of the speakers, we are talking about the agriculture of Uganda, the food. Who is growing the food? The food. It's not the government. It is the private sector, it is the farmers.
The investors envisage to contribute positively to the national exchequer through tax revenues.
We looked around in Kampala, we saw what was missing, and this is what we brought to your doorstep. And we made sure it's world-renowned. It is the one that you can go anywhere in the world to a Marriott facility and find yourself as good as what you got in Kampala anywhere else in the world.
This is in addition to providing ready market for agricultural products through locally sourcing over 90% of ingredients curated across the hotel's menus.
We made it a conscious decision that we want to support the local communities. We want to ensure that there is consistency. And of course, this country is so blessed. I think some of the best fruits and vegetables are in this country. You look at the watermelon, you look at the pineapple, you look at the oranges, everything is just amazing.
The Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Tourism Board, Lilia Jarova, emphasized attracting more investment in the sector to achieve the desired 40,000 bedroom capacity.
So we are still short. Just adding 142 to 28,000. Yes, it is an addition, but we will still need more. And the more of the quality that we require is really from 3-star upwards, because most of what we have is below that. And according to international standards, to host international conferences, meetings, the quality of facilities have to be from 3 stars.
The peaceful, pleasant and profitable business environment is attributed to the increased foreign direct investments in various sectors of Uganda's economy.
The official opening of Sheraton 4 Points is a major boost to Uganda's hospitality and hotel industry, boasting of 142 rooms specially customized for the business and leisure travelers. Dennis Sigua for UBC News in Kololo, Kampala.
Well, thank you very much, Dennis Sigua. That was an in-depth report. Now, leaders in the community of Acholi sub-region received the presidential directive to evict the Balalo who were grazing in public land and those who are on rampage destroying people's crops. President Yoweri Museveni was in Amuru district on Friday, where he reissued the executive order that he had earlier sent in 6 months ago, Executive Order number 3 of 2023, but was put on hold pending feasibility study of the presence of the Balalo herdsmen in northern Uganda by the Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Salim Saleh Akandwanaho. Let's take a look at the deep story. Locals and their leaders from the Acholi sub-region have welcomed the new directive President Museveni issued on the elusive Balalo herdsmen on a rampage grazing on public land in northern Uganda.
Much as it has been received with a mixed reaction, we are glad the President has made a decision. And the decision is that whoever has not fenced his land must exit. Whoever is not complied must immediately be exited, which is a working position for us. We shall commence the implementations immediately. He says he gives it a period of 3 weeks, that whoever is not compliant, who has no fence, who has no water, who has problem with the land, must leave. These ones we are starting immediately.
The 4th Division spokesperson, Major Telafar Turiemomanya, revealed that following the new executive order, they are ready to kickstart the mission of getting rid of the Balalo herdsmen from northern Uganda as directed by the President.
And this is the day we have been waiting for. The order is received. Now the implementation plan will continue because it has been in progress. And he has given the executive order a boost and a direction. And in it, you can see as a listening president, very democratic, he listened to all sides.
In his speech, President Yoweri Museveni gave 3 weeks to the Balalo, who are grazing on public land, and those operating within the fence to leave the region. The orders were issued to the UPDF's 4th Division Commander and the regional police.
They must all go, and I give them 3 weeks to leave. And they should not go to invade other areas of Uganda. They should go either sell their cows and get money and settle. Because they have already got free money by grazing. Let them sell their cows and go and do other things.
President Museveni also promised to meet different stakeholders in the Acholi sub-region to discuss the questions of land ownership. The discussion will focus on those who have bought land, those who have rented land and fenced their land. The Minister of State for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kuyuchin, applauded the President for the bold decision he has taken to come and listen to the locals regarding the perception they had on the executive order he issued on 6th of May 2023.
There are 2 voices. One voice is that the Balalo must go and go immediately. The other voice has told us, please go slow, go case by case, and let us promote development. And in these 2 areas, Your Excellency, you will wait for yourself.
However, other leaders expressed concerns about the implementers of the directives who are likely to be compromised during the implementation and urged the President to be tough on them for the success of this new directive.
President came out openly. I would say we would be in position now to follow and say what can we do in regard to what President ordered. Sometimes President may order, the security personnel within the district may turn down the information given by President to become their eating slot.
The new directive is part of the Executive Order number 3 of 2023, which was issued by the President while meeting the leaders from Acholi, Lango, and West Nile regions, putting the ban on commercial charcoal burning, ending cattle rustling, and evicting Balalo cattle keepers from the Acholi sub-region. Yes, early in the week, still President Yoweri Museveni commissioned the Kike Tropical Fruits Limited extraction and refinery plant in Kakoge, Nakasongola district. The factory deals in fruit processing, as these details share with us.
During the commissioning, the President thanked Mr. Francis Mugabe, the proprietor of the factory, and his family for joining Uganda's fight against poverty.
So I really want to congratulate njagala kwebaza Olivia, njagala kwebaza ne Francis. Konga Francis naye kirabeka alina gali bindi ezitunula bulungi kubanga yatandikira mu kusaka ebigunia.
President Museveni told the audience that for years now he has been advising Ugandans to get involved in commercial agriculture, but with calculations.
And we told you that if you have got 4 acres now, in 1 acre, put coffee, colonel coffee. In the 2nd acre, put fruits, fruits. In the 2nd acre, put fruits. Which fruits? Oranges, mangoes, or pineapples. That was 95.
President Museveni also donated a Fuso truck to the fruit farmers in Greater Luweero to help them transport their agricultural produce. The Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, thanked the proprietor of Chike Tropical Fruits Limited for joining the crusade of industrialization and offering jobs to the Ugandan youth.
We are putting on the market, as far as jobs are concerned, 700,000 youth, and normally we are creating between 300 to 400 new jobs. So where do we take those younger people? So Francis, you definitely, I would also, when you expand, I would also encourage you to increase on the job facilities so that these youth who are coming from educational institutions, they get a job and they become stable and they become purposeful.
The Minister of State for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, described Chike Tropical Fruits Limited as a unique factory because it's one of the manufacturing plants that came as a result of President Museveni's continuous call to Ugandans to wake up from the sleep.
Good news is, Your Excellency, you've resolved this problem by allowing UDB more capitalization, and therefore I have given assurance, and I want to give the assurance publicly, that the $1 million request that Mr. Kike wants, we will indeed ensure that it is given to him. And this is not because he has asked in your presence, this is because he's a good debtor. Your Excellency, Mr. Kike, for all the banks from whom he has gone to pick a loan, including DFCU, he has paid back their loans.
The proprietor of the factory, Francis Mugabe, thanked President Museveni for honoring their invitation before revealing that the day is a special one for him. Chike Tropical Fruits and fellow traders in Greater Luweero, who have supported him for the last 20 years of doing business.
In the local market, while our pineapple pulp had high demand in the European market and other export markets. Your Excellency, right now Kike is exporting its pineapple concentrate to the EU market. Our products have been tested and they meet the required standards of the EU market, and that's why we are exporting. Let me conclude by thanking you and the government for putting in place policies and programs that favor agro-industrialization, import substitution, job creation, wealth creation to promote socio-economic transformation among our people.
Due to increased demand for the factory's products, Mugabe informed the president that he had acquired a loan from the Uganda Development Bank, UDB, to upscale and expand the capacity.
We need your advice. Ng'omuzadde, ng'omukulembeze, otukwatireko. Tulabe nti ne apples zaffe ziri mu Uganda. We can add value to them and we substitute the importation.
Established in 2019, the state-of-the-art plant has the processing capacity of 1,000 metric tons of fresh fruits each season and supports more than 1,000 farmers of mangoes, pineapples and passion fruits from the districts of Greater Luweero, Greater Masaka, West Nile, Northern and Bukedi sub-regions in Uganda.
We do celebrate a milestone in
And furthermore, early this week, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja assured farmers in the district of Kalungu, Sembabule and Bukomansingi of government support. She was speaking during the mobilization campaign following the directive by the President, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has concluded a mobilization campaign for farmers on the 6 policy proposals of production, multiplication, distribution and certification of seeds and stock materials. Other policies include disease control, agriculture, mechanization and irrigation, farmer education and mobilization, in addition to partnership with big landowners and interventions in the fisheries sector. In Sembabule District, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja visited Peter Nyanzi, one of the successful coffee farmers in Kinoni A village, Sembabule Town Council. Nyanzi owns 15 acres of coffee with minimum returns of about 45 million shillings. According to Nyanzi, it's through government that he managed to set up the coffee plantation through NADS, which made this his source of livelihood. The other successful farmer is Wilson Tumuhaire, who is also engaged in several enterprises such as cat and goat keeping, coffee and banana growing. Tumuhaire expressed gratitude to government for helping farmers become self-reliant through several interventions.
Government ya President Museveni ahabwo bulungi bwayo byatuhereza hata kumwenyewe tinkubere mwenye mbabasi
omulumira omulunzi w'Essembabule yetaaga kakati ebijumiso ebituufu nga si bya fake, yetaaga amazzi aganaatambula mu nnimiro ne mu nte, twetaaga enguudo eziyinza okuyamba okulaba nti ebintu byaffe bye tulima ne bye tulunda bituuka mu katale.
Away from farmers, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja made an impromptu visit to Sembabule Health Center to establish the challenges faced in providing services to the people. She later joined hundreds of farmers for the Agricultural Expo at Sembabule District Headquarters, where exhibition on value addition, good agronomical practices, mechanization of agriculture and a health camp, among other services, were offered.
Kakati ayagala tulabe bwe tukola engeri yonna okulaba nga tutangira ebirwadde ku bisolo, mu bisolo ne mu birime.
Leaders from Sembabule district, including members of parliament Theodore Sechikubo, Hanifa Kawoya, Shatsikute Samsherure, appreciated government initiative.
Era nebyo nebibadde bisibye olagidde bitambulirewo mangu ago, tweyanziza nnyo, tweyanzeege, tweyanziza omusomo guno gw'otuleetedde, tweyanziza omwoleso gw'otuleetedde.
Abangambye ewuwo buli kitundu wali eddwaliro, ne nkugamba jangu otulamule, ettaka limala oba terimala.
The Minister for Agriculture, Fred Bwino Chakulaga, assured people of Sembabule that the government is in the process of providing water to the area by constructing dams and also fertilizers for the crops.
Ebisima damu tubireete mu district eno bibayambeko okusima damu.
Haruna Kasolo, the State Minister for Microfinance, warned the beneficiaries of Emyoga funds over mismanagement of the funds.
Abantu bonna abatwala ssente z'emyoga nga bamaze nazo ebbanga erisoba mu myezi 24, abantu abo mubakake ssente baziize mu ssako n'abalina bazikole ki?
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja noted that President Yoweri Museveni promised continued support to farmers to increase productivity.
Kakati gavumenti egamba mwedde mu kulima yewali ssente, mubadde mwabivaako mwaddukira mu bodaboda.
She later handed over 5 motorcycles to extension farmers to help them to reach out farmers and asked other leaders in the districts of Kalungu, Bukoma, Nsimbi and Sembabule to mobilize farmers to engage in profitable farming. The Agribusiness Expo brings together smallholder farmers, large-scale farmers, farmer associations, agricultural researchers and agribusiness companies to exchange ideas on how to improve production, productivity and profitability.
Wow. Now, during this week, government also emphasized the move to empower the Uganda National Oil Company to supply fuel and gas in Uganda. The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabera, tabled the first reading for the Petroleum Supply Amendment Bill 2023 to incorporate UNOC as a business. Let's take a look at more details.
Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabirwa, has presented the Petroleum Supply Amendment Bill 2023 for the first reading.
I beg to lay on table the certificate of financial implication to this petroleum supply amendment.
The bill is referred to the Committee on Natural Resources to be processed as per Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure.
The move is to amend the Principal Act and initiate a stand to allow Uganda National Oil Company to source and supply petroleum products to the available licensed oil marketing companies in Uganda.
Calling upon support from Ugandans. It will hurt me to see a Ugandan really hitting down on your own oil company, you know.
Minister Nankabirwa draws arguments from the experience which has partly kept Uganda's hands tied for long while dancing to the tunes of imported structures.
The international prices, I have no say. But the multi-layered system of Kenya, which end up making the cost of the fuel at the pump price high, is what I'm trying to work out with. So I'm expecting that the cost will not be, increased because of the new policy. No, I don't expect that. And for the money, you watch the space, okay? I am not going to ask for money from Matia Kasaija to do the business.
When asked about the capacity of UNOC in handling this huge project, the minister answered in affirmative.
And the oil marketing companies have understood. So when you see your co-wife crying more than you, the mother of the dead child, then you know there is a problem. Okay? If your co-wife cries more when you've lost a child, then you know that she may be the cause of the death. Can you welcome your own company? Let them try.
Despite the stages of legislation, UNOC is already in advanced stages after it negotiated a financing partner, Vitol Bahrain EC, which will provide working capital and ensure a competitive pricing of petroleum products.
That with the mandate that government has entrusted on us and with the team that we have, we will be able to deliver this mandate. And on top of that, we are riding on the back of a very reputable company, Vitol, which is the #1 independent global trader with a turnover last year in excess of 500 billion. And they will be working with us in financing this business, and we are sure we will deliver competitive pricing.
However, Minister Nankabirwa assures the public of the exit route in case UNOC acts in contrary.
I am mandated as a Minister of Energy to nominate another person, but with approval of Cabinet. So we have put security.
Nevertheless, if the legislation succeeds, Government of Uganda remains in active dialogue with the Kenyan government to ensure a smooth implementation of the shift in policy.
But this is the real timing for me to strike, and I am striking.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Let's now take a short commercial break and return after these messages.
As 2023 Primary 7 candidates prepare for their final examinations due next week.
Jovia! Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu. Nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa. Amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo. Okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo. Ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumoko kiki osobola okola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
We are running the program of parish development model. That is a model, a strategy that is supposed to enhance wealth creation by engaging 39% of the population that is not into the money economy. So far as a district, we have 56 parish development circles, and they have accessed funds. Last year we received about 560 million shillings, of which we have disbursed that money to them, and each beneficiary receives a maximum of 1 million shillings. Those PDM circles are into 56 parishes across the district, and so far they have no complaint about the disbursements and the receiving of the funds, which I think is a very positive note, because people have been talking about funds not being received elsewhere, but for Bushenyi, all those who have applied for the funds have received it, especially the revolving fund.
African Airline Association, in conjunction with Uganda Airlines, presents the 55th AFRA Annual General Assembly between the 19th and 21st November 2023 at Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo, in the heart of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. In attendance will be 500 high-profile African and global aviation leaders, 40 airline CEOs making strides to transform aviation for development. The 55th AFRA AGA is proudly powered by
wena mulamu kambone ku otyo mbakemye rubona mubaire muri kolati
ndide kulagira ono ngeri jiba kwayo kumbaga ya mwene ngwako isamo mope
eisimu eriwa je buliko
tola yesimu wena nakobya ironi geisimu tobulira
eisimu nyingi
ni gasita ndala mukaga itano sita isatu otewe ashi onige yesi balese chawo
balese machi antikodi je balisaba mama kadi bati
kayo buzono wachi tamu nsanvu isanvu mirundi esatu
balisaba
tamu esente dewe
amount baleta
mobile money
bali kunsa bapini
ebucha utampiniyo
iwe imwe sasula
aye baba embaga ya mwene mwekuoniza
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me?
Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sew your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria will catch.
All right, thank you for joining us once again. You're still watching the weekly roundup edition of the news here at UBC TV, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now in studio, once again, I'm joined by Jennifer Kal, I think a renowned person that you're getting used to here in the studio because of the season that we are in. We see that UNEB is currently, facilitating the exams of all our candidates all over the country. So it is only right that we keep hosting her here to help us guide the nation, especially those people that do not get some of these messages directly from UNEB, though I'm sure most of them do get these messages directly.
We try our best, but mainly through the likes of you, so we do appreciate the media.
Yes, so you're very welcome,
Thank you.
Madam Jennifer Kal, and
you.
we are happy to host you again.
It's a pleasure.
Especially this time when the PLE students are going to be doing their exams. We see that we're starting on 7th with the briefing, that is on Tuesday, and then having their exams start on 8th and then end on
8th and 9th, yeah.
That is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yes, please.
All right, so enlighten us on how UNEB is prepared.
Okay, thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all our viewers out there. Thank you so much for tuning in to UBC. In terms of preparation, of course, as a board, we are prepared to ensure that come the 8th of November, it's going to be on Wednesday, every candidate by 9 o'clock, they should have the mathematics paper before them. So all arrangements have been made throughout the week. We are trying to orient and brief the various teams we are going to be working with. We had our district monitors whom we trained here at the center, and then they went down to the districts to orient the head teachers, the invigilators, the distributors, all the scouts at that level whom we are going to be working with. Of course, we continue to brief the different scouts we are going to be working with, and we are working with teams of security personnel who are going to be on the ground to make sure that the examinations are secure. And like our theme is integrity and security in the management of examinations is a joint responsibility. So we are also calling upon everybody, every stakeholder. We are calling upon the parents, we are calling upon the teachers, heads of centers, and colleagues in the media to please join us to make sure that this season is successful. We do not have any encumbrances which would stop the examinations from going on.
Okay, so I'm very happy that the process had already begun with the UCE students. So that means you are already in the system. In other words, you are already vigilant and alert. I mean, it's different.
Yeah, it's different, definitely.
Because you already have the ball rolling, and so you have your hands a little everywhere right now. But I would also like to speak to, say, malpractice and preparation. What are some of the, malpractice, scenarios that you have found with UCE that might also risk coming into the PLE, and perhaps how do we address them?
Fortunately, with UCE, we do not have so many cases of malpractice. By the grace of God, the worst form of malpractice would be leakage, where the candidates have got the prior knowledge before the paper happens, because the paper gets to before the time. Prior knowledge via leakage is the worst form of malpractice. It did not happen for UCE.
Wow. And
we want to make sure it does not happen even for PLE. We had cases of the online sharing, the media, the social media, people sharing what is purported to be, what is said to be or thought to be a UNEB examination. That was a very bad scenario where we had somebody called Seguia Karim, and he used to call himself Fresh Karim. And by the grace of God, we managed to get hold of him. He was sharing fake papers. He would get the past papers of UNEP and then superimpose the cover page and put 2023. So he tells them in the morning, geography is here, blah, blah, that kind of thing. So we managed to get him. Actually, he's currently he's remanded in prison just to make sure we have a safe period. And we had another set of other people around Kampala still. They too were remanded at Uganda Road Court. And so we are working with the judicial systems to make sure that we get all these people apprehended, because we have the act, but we need the judicial system to also help us implement the act. So we want to thank God that so far it's been good. The other cases we got where people are trying to tamper with the materials, trying to cut the envelope, the security envelope, like between the distribution point to the school. We had 2 cases in Nagalama and also in West Nile, where they were trying to tamper with the examination materials, and our scouts were out there. They managed to get hold of them. We had one case, I think, of impersonation. Someone trying to do an examination in the case of there were 2 candidates. They were interchanging their index numbers. You rate mine, I rate yours, meaning that they were trying to impersonate. One was trying to do for the other. External assistance, of course, happens quite a lot, where the paper comes in and the teachers try to help the students, give them answers here and there. Those are some of the cases we still had, and we want to make sure this time around for PLE we minimize in as much as possible.
I think it's quite absurd that as we develop and grow our security around malpractice, also that there comes up new ways of,
definitely they keep being innovative, but
you can always handle.
Yeah, fortunately we have I want to say thank you so much to members of the public who have been on the alert. They give us all these alerts. Most of these cases we get them through whistleblowers, people who call us to alert us and say such and such a thing is likely to happen, and then we can put our scouts, our teams out there, both the undercover and the ones who are visibly who can be seen by everybody. So we want to caution anybody who thinks they are going to get involved in malpractice. We have so many undercover security personnel out there, so please do not get involved. And now the sharing of online sharing, it is an offense according to section 25 of the UNEP Act. Sharing online, if somebody purported to be a UNEP paper comes on your phone, kindly delete or maybe forward to police if you must, because if we get you and you are in the racket of people who shared, you too are culpable, and you can be you could be it's an offense, and you could pay a fine of 20 million shillings, or you could go to prison for 5 years, or both.
All right. Let's speak to a recurring issue that happens over and over again, and I want to know how you're handling it this time. The issue of stopping students from sitting their exams when they haven't finished their school fees or tuition fees. And how are you handling it this time? And we've seen some reports where students are being refused to actually sit because they've not finished their exams. Yeah.
That is a very unfortunate situation. We always encourage the parents and the heads of centers to try and sort out all those issues before the examinations begin, because as a board, we do not have the right to get involved into the administrative arrangements of the candidates, of the schools. However, we encourage the schools. We don't want them to lose out on their monies, but we also don't want the candidates to miss out on their examinations, because it's a whole lifetime. You are destroying a destiny of this child, of this learner. What we encourage the head teachers and the parents to try and come up with an MOU, agree on the terms of payment, how the parent is going to pay. In the event that we get to the time of releasing results and they've not been able to pay up, then as a board, we withhold those results until the school authorizes and say, now the candidate has been able to pay. So we encourage them, please, let the candidates be able to write the examinations. You let us know, and we shall withhold the results. Yes. There is a case in Kisugu last week, and we want to applaud the magistrate in Machindye, who did whatever to make sure that this person who had actually, we said these candidates, he actually held them up, he locked them up when an exam is going on. And then thereafter, he opens up the room after the examination. That is not even just malicious. That is murder in itself. You're kind of murdering the destinies of these candidates. So
what was the essence of locking up the students? Was it because
school fees balances? And this is now a paper, like they've done the whole and the challenge with UNEP papers, once it's a compulsory paper and you've missed out, you will not be graded. So honestly, with all due respect to this head teacher, it was really not called for. Let the candidates write.
Perhaps he didn't want the candidates to loiter around, but not sit the exams, but not to loiter around, because that could also be
It doesn't matter whatever the case
Yeah, but
is.
I think that was
he
very,
didn't let them do their examinations, which was quite unfortunate.
And I think also it doesn't make sense logically for a person to wait and sit the whole next year, especially if they could just pass through this one term. Yeah?
And by the way, these are senior 4 candidates. This is the last cohort.
Oh yes,
of that old
which makes more
curricula.
sense. Which makes more sense. That
Fine, we have made some policy recommendations, but until they are approved, all we know is that this is the last term we are sitting for this exam.
Yeah, I think that
so really
justifies
it was
so
really
much. So,
not called for.
Yeah. Headmaster schools, I think this is something that you really need to put to the table and discuss very, very delicately, because you might not want to see this repercussion fall back on you, having a student repeat and then they have to start with a new curriculum. That's something different that is going to, trickle down onto your image a little bit.
Yeah, and the destinies of these children. And then going forward, so we want to caution the head teachers of primary schools, the head teachers of the PLE centers. Please, if by this time the parents have not cleared the school fees, maybe you have tomorrow. If they have not cleared, kindly come up with an MOU. And to the parents, please, kindly go to the schools and talk to the head teachers. Talk to them. Let them, don't appear so arrogant yourself. Please talk to them. Let's save our children. We don't want anybody who is supposed to see the examinations miss out. Everybody who has registered. In all, we have a total of the candidates who are registered for the PLE examinations. We have a total of it's close to 749,728 who have registered. We want all of them to be able to sit for their examinations. And we are saying that, please, it is an offense to obstruct these learners from writing the examinations. Section 30 of the UNEP Act makes it an offense. You stopping the learners from getting to the examination when they are fully registered makes it an offense. You are obstructing according to Section 30 of the UNEP Act 2021. And once it happens, we are going to take it to the courts of laws, and then you could actually be imprisoned for 5 years, or you pay a fine of 20 million shillings. But most importantly, do not destroy the destinies of these children.
So my producer asks me to ask you a question. So those that have missed their papers due to the missing of school fees balances, what are they going to do? That's a tough one, because the curriculum has changed.
That's a tough one because, to be very honest, we do not does not give retakes. We only had one.
Can't you set special exams? Because considering this is a new curriculum that you're going to be ushering in next financial year, and wouldn't you make some considerations considering that you're closing off this particular one? I think it's
what we have done. Have done. We have made a policy proposal to our political leaders in the ministry. We had proposed that because we have other outliers where people have not registered for some reason or the other. We have the adult learners who would want to sit, and they are not part of this new curriculum. Then we have people like this who, for some reason, they're not going to be graded. And then we have people who are likely to fail, because there's a failure rate at the same time. Managers do not set exams for people to fail. There's a failure rate. And there are those who may be involved in malpractice, God forbid, and their results are cancelled. So we have that whole category. And we are proposing that we be given an opportunity to set exams for them around June, July.
Okay.
That is the proposal.
Okay.
We are yet to get feedback until we have received a policy approval and to do that. But that is our plan, because of course the new curriculum and the old curriculum is not casting stone that just stop. So there's got to be a phased implementation of phasing out of the old curriculum and the new curriculum. So we are proposing that we be given that grace period to give these learners an opportunity, but we don't want to hold the exams at the same time with the others of the new curriculum. So that's why we are proposing June, July.
I think then that's why you should work closely with the schools to ensure that everything moves as smooth as possible. Especially now also, we're having distractions with the weather. The weather is crazy. Like, you wake up in the morning. Someone yesterday was telling me they were going for confirmation, and confirmation was at 7 and they didn't have a car. No, the confirmation was at 9 and they didn't have a car, so it started raining at 6. So the people reached confirmation when they were dripping. So Now
I
that
know.
exams are
You don't
coming
want
up,
that to happen to our
yeah,
candidates,
you don't want
honestly.
that to happen to the day scholars. So how should they be able to do that? Are there
Yes.
arrangements where the scholars can stay at schools for the exams?
No,
or?
that is where we call for the joint responsibility. We expect the parents and the schools to work together. With PLE, fortunately, all the other learners are off the campus.
Yeah.
They all go back home. So we have, even if it's a day school, for those 2 days, you can kindly accommodate these learners. Make arrangements, parents and teachers, please, because the weather is so unpredictable.
It's very unpredictable.
And you know, with UNEP examinations, if a candidate appears more than 15 minutes after the start of the examination, they will not enter the examination. So kindly, let's work together, do whatever it takes to make sure the candidates sleep within the vicinity of where they are going to be writing the examinations from. Schools which do not have examination centers, we are asking you kindly, if your center is far from your school, make arrangements to have the candidates get there so they can be in time for the examinations. We don't want to hear cries of people they've missed the examination simply because of time. We all know the time ahead of time. You have the timetable. You know everything that you need to know. Exams begin on Tuesday with the briefing of candidates. After briefing the candidates, make sure they stay within the vicinity of where they are going to be sitting, writing the examinations from.
Okay. So as we come to the end of this interview or this conversation, of course the UCE are still going on, and they're going up to 17th of November. That is, are there any, last parting shots for those that are already seating, those coming on to seat, and those that will be sitting?
Okay, this is one of those weeks where we have almost 3 examinations going on. UCE is going on. They are continuing. I think they are having CRE on Monday. Monday, they are going to be having entrepreneurship, and then CRE, and then biology practical on Tuesday. They will be continuing, and then on Tuesday we are going to have the briefing of the PLE candidates, and on Friday, as we phase out, as PLE ends on Thursday, on Friday we have the briefing of USCE candidates. So it's kind of like a mouthful for all of us, but which is where we want to make sure that all our candidates get finish their examinations well. We want to appeal to the local government authorities. We are doing this in joint partnership with the local government authorities. Please support our officials in as much as possible. Where we need distribution and we need a vehicle, kindly provide it. We are asking you even to let some of your staff to help us do the distribution. I think Mr. Odongo wrote to the CAOs, to the local government authorities, requesting that the staff of the local government help in the distribution of the examinations, and we are requesting you to kindly abide. Our inspectors of schools, the district, city, and municipal inspectors of schools, you are our administrators at that level. Kindly let's do whatever it takes to make sure the examinations are conducted safely. Anyone thinking that they are going to get a kasasi of PLE, kindly do not destroy our learners' destinies by giving them poison. Whatever you're going to give them is poison. It comes to your phone, kindly delete and just run. Do not dare share anything that is purported to be a UNEP examinations. It is an offense.
Well, thank you very much. And maybe just sharing from experience, I know that this can be a very tense period for so many people. However, there are also students who tend not to really care so much, and you find that especially those that are adolescents by this time, they actually use this period of time to get crazier than they have been.
Please,
but I must just advise
involved.
you through experience that I've seen a lot of some of my colleagues, lose track along the way, especially at this time. So there's a lot that life has to offer.
Please,
we've all passed through it. So just wait, pass through this period like you must. Do your exams, pass. And then wait, because by the time you reach your older ages, there's still too much.
And for the rest of us, let's try and support these learners. Please pray for them, pray with them, motivate them, encourage them. We pray that they will be focused, they'll have quick understanding, strong memories, and write well the examinations. You have what it takes to the candidates. We wish you God's blessings.
Yes, and the UBC Lunchtime News continues, the weekly roundup. Now, early in the week in Masaka, 4 pupils of Kasana Junior School in Nyendo Mukungwe Division, Masaka City, died, and 11 others were injured in a fire that burnt down the school dormitory. Now, the acting Greater Masaka police spokesperson, Jamada Wandera, confirmed this incident. Let's take a look at some of those details.
Police preliminary investigations indicate the fire that gutted the dormitory of Kasana Junior School could have caused by a short circuit.
Dormitory entini ebaddemu abaana ba top ne P1 abamu mwe basula ne metron yekutte omuliro nga okunoonyereza.
2 pupils died in the incident and 11 were injured.
Abaana abakoseddwa babadde abaana 11 nga ababiri balabika.
It's alleged that shortly after the fire outbreak, dozens of parents rushed to the school to check on their children. The leadership of the school asked parents to calm down.
Koseddwa tujja kuleeta class bayi naye okusinziira ku mitendera egikwatagana n'omwana okumugjawo nga waliwo ekizibu miwanvu. Bw'oba olabye omwana wo tojja mutwala.
Joseph Okow, UBC.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of our weekly roundup edition. We do hope that you got a few insights, especially those that are coming to do their exams this week. Thank you for watching. Please do stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Ndeka wena mulamu.
Wena kambone ku.
Otyo. Mbakemye rubona. Mubaire muri kola ki?